sanity is what we're hoping for.
What's going on? What's going on? Oh no. Whoa. Surprisingly effective. Phew. What? This is such a strange... Oops. So you can kind of knock two people over. Why would you use this as a slashing thing? Oh, right. I don't like this. Drop it. Give me a proper weapon. That looks something I could do to work with. You had a shield, didn't you? Nunchucks, no thank you. Where's the bow and arrow gun? Phew! I love your sword.
Interesting, but not amusing.
How can you keep
We
getting
want
stuck?
funny! Collect your weapon and salute!
Whoa, what in the world is... Whoa. Oh my god, it's frisbees of death? Can it be? Oh, I hope so. So, hang on. So you would have to go... Oh. Hang on. So trigger... Ah. Wow! What a weapon! So now I'm holding it with the trigger button rather than the menu button in the hope that I can learn to throw it. Huh. Oh my gosh, these are absolutely deadly. One strike. Oh dear. Where did you come from? You sound like Ha! Sound slightly Pacific Islands. Oh my gosh. I don't think that's a very good weapon at all. I had no idea you were there. I think you're fine. It's shooting. Oh, I died. Oh my god, I literally
Collect
died.
your weapon and salute!
Gosh, this is hot business. Alright. Sorry, I'm being very clumsy today. I think we need to use this. So I think it needs a nice movement. Oh, wow, boomerang. You're kidding me. How in the world did you manage to come back to life? Yeah, they like that. Oh, they like the blood to come out of the head. I get it. So they want head wounds. So can you monitor how well you're doing by the laughter? Okay, 3. 3 of them. Yeah, they like the old facial injuries, this crowd. They do, they only start laughing
Something about
when you
humor
lop off part
escapes
of
you.
their skulls.
Maybe watching you fail will be better.
So I'm not
Take
being
this.
funny enough for this,
Salute us, and we'll
this
see.
king. Oh, this feels new. Have I got past 3 of them before? Tomahawk. Okay. Ah, that's encouraging you to scalp. So that was me going from toggle, I was holding it with the trigger when I wasn't toggling, and then the menu makes it permanent. So if you want a quick release weapon, it's a matter of holding the trigger for as long as you want to hold it, and if you just want to have it locked in place, you use the top menu button, which is quite a clever innovation. I've never seen that before in an HTC Vive game. Okay, let's see what you got. Okay, well, I'm going to make a beeline for you because you can get me at this. The tomahawk seems to get stuck, strangely. So you've got a long stick, so I don't like you around. Uh-oh. Huh. You're accidentally hitting each other. Thank you for your help in knocking his block off.
Your fight is a joke, but we still aren't laughing.
What are you talking about?
So,
Don't be
here's
mean.
a funny challenge. A new weapon. Salute with it, and fight a free-for-all.
Oh, God. So you can salute with it, but it doesn't say you have to hold on to it for the rest of the time. You just put it down and grab one of the other ones. I think I'm trying to block that. Oh my gosh. That only... This is quite ridiculously gory. Oh yeah, you want some too? Can't see I've got a pretty awesome frisbee in my hand. What? Quite good for sort of sticking them and it doesn't come out again. Whoa. How dare you? I was having a conversation with friends. I haven't had a go on that yet. So... God, they're all delighted, these people. Just so, it's not a bad idea, just to let them fight it out, and then you just do the last one. Probably around about now when he's stuck.
You struggle so much. Very funny. Now we will watch you struggle with our champion.
The Badger Man,
He is
sir.
master of pranks and brings vicious pets.
Uh-oh. What are you
Lift
going to
your
do?
hand and challenge the Badger Mancer.
Okay. No way, that is hilarious. What, one strike and he's gone? Did I kill him with one stroke? Look at you, you knobber. Just get eaten by your own badger, you nonsense meister.
I don't get this. Whatever. Raise your hands.
But I don't have to continue fighting the badger. No, I don't have to continue fighting the badger. Okay. I feel like I'm racing through this. Oh, time to go. That's a shame. All right. You know, all good things have to come to an end. I'm sorry I kept hitting the menu button there a fair old bit. It's not ideal, is it? Wow, I was so excited throughout that entire thing that for once I didn't have a single sip of tea. And it's stone cold, which is never good. Okay, well there's only one place to go to discuss the joys of Gorn and the slightly disappointing nature of two games where if you do not have a trackpad controller working well on both, that really screws you in some games. So I think that's a huge assumption that developers make, that everyone's got a gamepad knocking around. I don't. I am a pure VR person. And that this button is stable enough to be used as a cursor. It just doesn't work. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work. You get me? But what can you do? I can see why they would have chosen to do it. When you're building a game, you presume that these things are robust. Sadly, as much as HTC Vive has everything I could ever dream of in terms of good selection of games, good graphics, really fast updating of the sights and sounds so that you feel properly like you're there. That's the one slightly glitchy thing, is the poor controllers. However, soon we'll all be getting our hands on something pretty exciting, and that is a type of setup where you can gesture with your hands. You can move. I figured out the reason this always happens is there's a button on the side somewhere which I've never pushed intentionally. When I'm fiddling, I accidentally press it. Where the hell is it? I have to figure it out in my spare time. Can you believe it? Okay. So yeah, gesture. So you'd be able to wave, you do this, you do this, you can do this, you can do everything. And the controller can detect it. And so when you're in a game, just like that guy was saying, raise your hands, gesture with simple things of the height of the motion controllers. The game can figure out what you're trying to communicate. This is like being able to do, I just thought of a wicked game I could code. In 5 years' time, it'll be ready. Right, let's go and talk about what just happened. Good to see you. It's a bit hot in here. Let's get down the beach. Doosh, dash. Come on. Gorn is a winner. So, as you know, I'm not a big fan of violent games. I don't like it. I don't like the blood and gore. I know it's fun to murder and maim for some people, but for me, I'm a pacifist. I don't kind of enjoy it. But Gorn is the exception. Somehow, all that blood and gore is comical. It's just a fun game. So I'd highly recommend it. A lot of the sort of horrific nature of the sort of decapitation, the eyeballs hanging out and the organs all over the floor, and mashing up dead bodies, more and more wounds and blood everywhere. It's so comical, it's fun, and all the different weapons are fun to use. It's funny that they're all sort of rubbery. It's funny that the legs of the people you're up against are rubbery. Like the number of times I've played games where 7-foot persons come up behind me and scared the hell out of me. Like, I don't enjoy those kind of jump scares personally. But in this case, although they were big and tough and barrel-chested, big arms, they're so sort of like goons, idiots, clowns, that you kind of don't feel physically threatened by them. The whole thing is entertaining rather than gratuitously violent. So, upshot is I think Gorn's brilliant. As you saw, the HTC Vive motion controllers are somewhat flawed. Within a few months, you'll find that the sort of joystick, the analog controller in the middle, loses its capacity to act as a joystick. You can usually still, Boat agrees, you can still usually teleport. It works as a button, but the up, down, left, right nature fails you. Now, I've since gone back to those games and had a little go. I've realised that using a PlayStation 4 controller, you can use them, but it's just not the point of VR to be sat there tethered to your PC. You want the freedom of movement, so I'm not even sure if I'll bother reviewing Pixel Rip 1989 until such a time as my motion controllers are doing the full kit and caboodle. I did try and fix them following a YouTube video. I failed miserably. So I'll try again and hopefully come back to you. Jeez. big swell today. Anyway, look, thanks as always for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you next time. Like, subscribe, comment, and tell me what you want to see. Reality. Life. Reality. Life.